Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam everyone. Today is an auspicious day because today is Arudra Nakshatra, which is or Tiruvadirai in Kartika Masam. So it is the star on which Swami was born. So you can see the star birthday of Swami. So we are starting the Anuvaka 4, the fourth Anuvaka in Sri Rudram today. I will just give a short overview and then we can proceed. This Anuvaka also contains 17 Yajus mantras. As I had mentioned in previous classes, that Yajus stands for prose, okay, but they are metrical proses. They are in specific meters, but it's in a prose form. So there are 17 mantras in this Anuvaka. In this Anuvaka also, the Namaha precedes the mantra and follows the mantra. So there are two Namaha in each mantra. The second, third, and fourth Anuvakas in Rudram have this feature. So this is the third Anuvaka which has this feature of Namaha in the front and Namaha at the end. Okay, so I think I should fix this. So this is the last Anuvaka. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the last Anuvaka of that kind. So in this Anuvaka also, we will see that the Rudra principle is inherent in everything. Specifically, you will see the opposites, the contrast of, the way the Lord is present in something, but in the opposite also the Lord is present. That kind of theme comes through in this. Again, this is also, as stated before, Sarvatmakaha, means in everything he is the Atman, okay, and Sarveshwaraha, he is the Lord of everything in this world. So these concepts again come through this Anuvaka. So we will continue with the Anuvaka now. So let's look at the first mantra. Nama avyadhinibhyo vividhyantibhyascha vo namaha. Nama avyadhinibhyo vividhyantibhyascha vo namaha. Nama avyadhinibhyo vividhyantibhyascha vo namaha. Just to look at some aspects related to pronunciation. Avyadhi. This dhi is the fourth letter in the tha varga, so it has to be aspirated. And nibhyo, just similar to many other mantras, the bha is the fourth in the per varga, so it has to be aspirated. Vividhyanti. This is also the fourth one, so it has to be aspirated with more air and effort. Vividhyanti. Bhya. Again, the bhya comes. The b is the fourth in the per varga and has to be aspirated. We look at the meanings. Namaha, salutation. Avyadhinebhyaha. So this is also the fourth vibhakti, which means to, okay, to offer somebody something. To avyadhinyaha is the noun. It's a simple noun, which is a plural. Okay, many. So actually, in the previous Anuvak also we have seen the Lord as present in many forms, in multitudes. Though the Lord is one, he also is present as many. So he is the many, which we see in this word. So to avyadhinibhyaha, so avyadhinyaha is those who pierce from all sides. Has multiple meanings. Vyadhinyaha means one who pierces. Avyadhinya means in all ways, in all sides. Okay. All around, from everywhere, from before, in front, back, on the sides, up, above, or below, from anywhere, from all directions, one who pierces. So it also demonstrates that the Lord is present everywhere. Okay, so those who pierce from all sides is avyadhinyaha. So the God is present in many forms in this world, and he pierce. Okay, the next word is vividhyantibhyascha. Vividhyantibhya. There is sandhi here. The visarga vividhyantibhya. The with cha becomes ish in the mantra. Okay, which we have similar to what we have seen before. So this is also the fourth vibhakti, the fourth form of the noun. So to vividhyantiyaha. Vividhyantiyaha means it's a plural, a simple noun, which basically means vivida means in many different ways. In variety of ways. Vivida. So vividhyantiyaha means one who attacks, pierces us from different sides. Okay, vividyanti and vividyantibhya. Okay, so vividyanti is singular, vividyantiyaha is plural, and vividyantibhya is the fourth form of the plural noun. Okay, so to those who pierce in manifold ways, salutation, because when the Lord, or when our sufferings also comes in many different ways, if you want to put it that way. The good things also come in many different ways, many different forms. So it is not one way he pierces. In many different ways, people can pierce, but the Lord is piercing through them. That's the way the rishis visualized. So vividyanti namaha. Okay, to vividyantiyaha namaha. Okay, salutation to those who pierce in manifold ways. So in simple summary, salutation to those who pierce from all sides, those who pierce in manifold ways, and to you. Because the whole mantra is, even though we are seeing many things happening to us, we see the indweller, which is the Lord, to you. So even if we bow down to things around us, actually we are not bowing down to the external manifestation, but the Lord within. And that's the whole drive of Rudram itself, to show us that he is the Atmaka, who is indweller in everything. And he has the reins of control, who can make things happen and he can stop things from happening also. Okay? So that's the first mantra in the fourth Anuvaka. We look at the next mantra. I have not taken any excerpts from Swami's discourses because we have covered similar concepts in the past. So I thought maybe I will omit Okay, so we'll look at the next mantra. Nama uganabhyastrigam hatibhyascha O Namaha. Nama uganabhyastrigam hatibhyascha O Namaha. Nama uganabhyastrigam hatibhyascha O Namaha. The mantra appears as one single long compound word, but I hope it's okay. When you read the English, it should be simpler for you. Let's look at a couple of pronunciation aspects. Ubhya, okay, that's the fourth letter in the pa varga, so it has to be aspirated. Trigum habdibhyascha, okay, trigum. This gum happens in Yajurveda, wherever the anuswara is chanted in certain combinations, or letters which follow it, it morphs into gum instead of this is only unique to Yajurveda. Trigam again, ubhya is again the fourth letter in the varga, so it has to be aspirated. We will look at the meanings. Namaha, this Namaha, the Visarga is dropped because of Sandhi, because U follows the Visarga gets dropped, okay, in the join, okay, the junction. So that's because of Sandhi. Namaha is the salutation. The first word in this, there are three words actually. Uganabhyaha, Tragumhyatibhyaha, and Cha. So there are three words in this compound word, which is Sama, it's called Samasa. So Uganabhyaha, Tragumhyatibhyaha, and Cha. So those are the three words you see. Uganabhyaha, Tragum. So in this, I put Trimhatibhyaha because Ug is only as far as chanting goes. Gum. So I have removed the Ug. So the simple word is Trimhatibhyaha and Cha. Uganabhyaha, Trimhatibhyaha and Cha. Let's look at the meanings. Uganabhyaha. Okay, this is the fourth form of the simple noun Uganaha. Uganaha means it's a plural of Uganaha. Uganaha. Uganaha means superior ganas. U always stands for something above, something which is upward, or something which is better, like Uttama, okay, things like that, where U stands for something which is higher. So Uganaha means superior ganas who do higher things, that kind of meaning. Ganaha, we have already looked at the meanings. Ganaha means the multitudes which follow the Lord. It can also mean all the senses in us also are called ganas, which Swami has given. I think I have given excerpts of Swami's discourses on this before, so I have not produced it here. Though there are some other things which I have accepted. So gana means all superior ganas. So we bow down to all the superior ganas. Then trimhati bhyaha is the fourth form of the simple noun trimhatyaha. Okay, trimhatyaha is a plural noun, simple noun, which basically means who are fierce deities. Okay, superior ones give, like you can various forms of gods also, you can say. They always do positive things which may be seen by us as something which is giving us joy and so on. Whereas the fierce deities correct us in very rough ways, harsh ways. They fix the problem of adharma. So they are trimhatibhyaha. To them also we bow down. Okay. And cha vaha, to you. Okay, because each of these forces actually embody you, because through you only they function. So salutations to the superior ganas, fierce deities, and to you. So let's now look at an excerpt from Swami's discourse. This is from Sathya Sai Vahini. We will just read and see. It's a long excerpt. I hope it's okay with you all. Prayers for timely help or useful guidance are attended to only by the appropriate units. Therefore, if through ignorance or want of care, the pleading is addressed to the wrong head, what can the head do? Only cast it aside, remarking that it is not of concern because it was wrongly addressed. So prayers for specific benefits and bounties have to be directed to the departments with which they are related. The divinity concerned with rain is Varuna. So prayers for rain or about rain have to be directed to him. He alone is authorized to deal with such. Surya is the head of the realms of health and splendor. Ganapati is the head of the department that deals with prevention of difficulties that hamper good works. Bhudevi is the goddess in charge of vegetation. Cultivated crops and medicinal plants are fostered by Chandra. Thus, each group of divine manifestations and expressions has a lesser divine authority empowered to supervise and manage it. They are referred to as deities. Deities supervise, guard, and guide each one of the senses of people. It may be asked, God is one, why can't he listen to and fulfill our prayers himself? This question is based on mistake. It is a sign of weakened faith. Of course, there's only one God, but in the governance of the cosmos, different fields of activity have to be ruled and regulated. These have subordinate deities. If you write a letter to me and address it to another, it will reach only the addressee. It cannot be presented before the person whom you desire to approach. So too, you have to address the deity in charge, the one concerned with the fulfillment or denial of your desire. Then that deity would be interested in your problem and initiate whatever steps possible to solve it. So, this in Sathya Sai Vahini, Swami is talking about prayers, how we should address prayers, what we should pray for, who we should pray for. So if we are related to anything worldly, different departments are assigned to different deities. But the ultimate supreme one is one, and he takes care of only one thing, which is bringing us closer to him. As far as the worldly benefits, this and that, we worship the lesser deities if we are interested in that. The Lord will say, ideally, you should not. I will give you whatever you need, so you can come to me, which is a completely different thing. The worldly benefits may not be there also, because he has to remove them so that we can reach him. But that God operates through various deities. So Uganabhyah Trimhatibhyah. So those are the deities. They guard, guide, foster, and give us whatever we ask from a lesser worldly perspective. But the God is working through them. That we cannot forget. That's why the mantra Uganabhyas Trigamhatibhyascha Vo Namaha. To you who is working through all of them, we bow down to you also. But we bow down to them and to you. So it is recognizing that the Supreme God is functioning through the lesser deity. Because in the world we have to, even if we want something, we go to a doctor for treatment or medicine prescriptions, a grocery store. Everyone is actually working at the instructions of the Lord without their knowledge maybe, but the Lord is working through them all. So in the same way, in our own body, there are senses of various kind, which also have power, which also have divine potency. But the Lord is the one who is controlling them. Because sometimes if the senses go out of control, we have to go back to the Lord, because He is the one who can fix that problem. So these are prayers. So I think if anyone wants to read, you should read the Sathya Sai, Sri Sathya Sai Vani, chapter 19. Swami has nicely explained how we should pray and so on. Okay, so we'll go to the next mantra. Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. In terms of pronunciation, the first word is gr. Okay, it's not gru, it's not gri. Because sometimes this r is either pronounced as u or e. Both are not supposed to be right. Gr. Okay, it's basically somewhere in between. Gritsa, gritsebhyo. Again, is the fourth letter in the pa varga and has to be aspirated. Gritsa patebhya. Again, the bha is the fourth letter in the pa varga. It has to be aspirated with force. Okay, with some extra air. Again, the gru also is the same as the first word. Okay, so let's look at the meanings. Namaha, as I have mentioned before, sometimes it's good to repeat. The visarga, namaha, visarga has become O because of sandhi. Okay, namaha becomes namo because of sandhi. What follows that visarga? Okay, gritsebhyo, again that yo is visarga becoming yo because of sandhi. Okay, similar to namo. So gritsebhyah is the word without sandhi. Gritsebhyah, which is the fourth vibhakti or fourth form of the simple noun gritsaha. Okay, gritsaha is a plural word. The meaning of that is those who strive for worldly objects. There are multiple meanings given by the commentators. One is who are clever, who trick us into benefiting from the worldly perspective. Such people also gritsebhyah. Profit-minded people who are cleverly manipulating things to acquire. Ultimately, anything and anyone who acquires worldly objects. We looked at Uganabhya, Thiramhatipya, now we are talking about Gatsebhya. People who are intent on worldly achievements. They all fall under the Gritsaha. So to them also we bow down. Okay. Gritsebhya Namaha. Then the next word is Gritsapatibhyascha Namaha. So Kritsa Patibhyaha and cha becomes Vyascha, the Visarga becomes Ish. Okay. Gritsa Patibhyaha is the fourth form of the simple plural noun Gritsa Patihi. Gritsa Patihi means lords of the worldly mind. So there are people, Swami has already spoken about, various departments. So this is another department and there's a department head. So the Lord is the head of that head also. So Gritsapati means lords of the worldly mind. Okay. Anyone who is, if you go to the capital market, in this capitalism world, there are people who are intent to make money, then there are bosses who help them make the money and they themselves are also interested in it. So this world is full of such people who are in the acquisitive mode of existence. To them also we bow down, but we recognize that the Lord is the Lord of them also. Okay. Salutation to those who strive for worldly objects, the lords of the worldly minded, and to you. In everything, we remind that the Lord is the one who is the ultimate authority, who is in control, through whose will alone this entire world functions. Namo Gritsebhyo Gritsapatibhyascha Vo Namah. I don't have any excerpt for this. We'll go to the next mantra. Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatibhyascha Vo Namah. Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatibhyascha Vo Namah. Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatibhyascha Vo Namah. In terms of meaning, the Ubhya and Ubhya, I think we have covered quite a few times. The Namo is because of Sandhi. Vratebhyo, the Visarga becomes O, just like Namo. Bhyascha, that Ish is also again Visarga becoming Ish because of Sandhi. Let's look at the meaning. Namaha, salutation. Vratebhya. Vratebhya is the fourth form of the simple noun Vrataha. Okay, Vrataha is the simple plural noun, which basically means from various races. That's one of the meaning. Who are of variety. This also has been seen as people belonging to other countries, other races, all the people in the world. Okay, like if you are in one country, the other country people. If you are for one race, the other races. So the word Lord is present for. He is the Lord of everyone. That is recognized here. So he is the Lord of everyone in this world, in whichever form, in whichever race, whichever place they exist in. That the meaning comes through this word Vrataha. Okay. Next one is Vratapatibhya. Okay, that's again the fourth form of the simple plural noun Vratapatihi. One second, I think I made a small mistake. I'm just going to pause. Sorry, I just had to fix something because I had put Vratapatihi, which is singular. So I just made it plural. So the word is Vratapatayaha. Okay, Vratapati is the singular. So Vratapatayaha means plural. Okay. Vratapatibhyaha is to Vratapatayaha, which is the plural of Vratapati. Okay. So which basically means leaders of various races. So we also see the hierarchy in other places also. If they don't belong to one race, there are many races, many groups of people. For each of those groups also there are leaders. To them also we salute. Why we salute? Because the Lord is within them also. Vaha, to you. It's not that we bow down to them, we bow down to the you who is the Lord within them, who is operating through them. Okay, so it's as you can see, this aspect of reverence to the Lord within anyone and any race from any parts of the world is coming through in this. It's the universal nature of the Lord. Okay. Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatibhyascha Namo. Salutation to those from various races, the leaders of various races, and to you. Okay. We will go to the next mantra.
Sairam, brother.
Yes, sister.
Can you please little explain about the various races, leaders? What is still didn't have a clear understanding on that. Thank you.
Yeah. So the thing is you can understand, Rudram is trying to tell us that everything in this world is God. Anything which we see, we can say divinity is present in that. Some we can easily see, but if you start listing every single thing in this world, it'll be too much. But as you can see, whatever is not covered, we have looked at Uganabhya, Gitsebhya, in etc., etc. There are many other things. So there are people who say that some of the commentators say Vrata means people who don't follow rules, people who don't do the things which we do. Even their practices may be different. Even in those, you are the Lord. See, in Sanatana Dharma, people who follow any path is also considered as following the Lord. If you are a Sanatana Dharma or Hindu, if you look at a Christian, you will say the Lord of the Christian is also the Lord. It is not that they have to convert to our religion. Their belief system is okay. You are guiding them also wherever they are. Whatever vratam they are, see, if you take vratam, there are so many people doing different vratas. Some of, I think, people do it Kanta Shashti vrata. Or then there are, that means they are following a certain path, certain regulation, which may be sometimes opposite to what we follow also. But we don't need to practice what they practice, but we need to recognize that they are also following, and the Lord is looking after them also. So we will also treat them with respect. We have been given a path to follow. Okay, if you say we are following Swami, Sri Sathya Sai, there are people following all other people, but we recognize our Lord is the same Lord as them. But we also respect them. We also see, when we say we salute them, we are not going to fight or say that they are wrong or anything like that. You say you live. As long as you lead a good life, you are also being guided by the Lord. Even people who are not doing the right thing also will say you are also being guided by the Lord. So that to cultivate that attitude in us, Rudram will help, because it's not an easy attitude to cultivate. So but Rudra is, as part of our prayer, we are praying that also. So that is the exalted nature of Sanatana Dharma. Every path leads to the same Lord. Everyone is going to the same Lord. So to impress that idea, these mantras help us. I don't know, there's a Zoom user with the hand up.
Sai Ram, brother. I was wondering, is it coming from, like, we are all part of one big family? Because when you say Mata, mother, Pita, father, and then Bhrata means brotherhood, and then Prata means like different races. So coming under the same umbrella, we are all
Yes.
one family. So Prata is like everybody is in the group, right? Okay.
Yes, sister. I was just Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the entire universe is one family.
Thank you.
Okay, Saira. But see, these mantras help us by just chanting, just contemplating. Over a period of time, we will slowly cultivate that attitude naturally, because with the help of the mantra. So that is the whole purpose. I think someone was asking a question.
Thank you.
Sairam Maruno.
Sairam.
In other words, we should not be judgmental, and we have to develop forgiveness, and we have to develop forgetting whatever other people are doing, and non-judgmental attitude in our life.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So just sometimes we should understand, just chanting the mantra does not necessarily get us the full result. We should understand the meaning, and that meaning should be contemplated on. And as Auntie said, we should practice that also. So the chanting of Rudram is all these things. So practicing that kind of attitude, as Auntie described, is all packaged in this mantra for us to learn. So that's nice. Yes, Brother Vimalesan.
Sairam, I just want to clear this one point. So it's salutation. Every mantra says salutations to that and this, and then and to you. So is it really meaning the Rudra or the God within all these? That's a meaning, or
yes, that is the meaning, brother. That ultimately just thinking we are bowing down to somebody else does not necessarily serve the right thing, because if there is someone who is committing a crime, if we say I bow down to you,
Right.
it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay.
But we may have to fix the person who is making the mistake. The criminal has to be punished even. But
Okay.
even though we punish, the punishment will be to correct the person rather than harm the person.
Right.
Why we do not want to harm? Because we also know that person is also the child of the Lord. That person also there is an element of the Lord. So it is. So this Namaha is not necessarily we bow down to the, as you rightly pointed out, it is the indweller.
Indweller. Okay.
Because of the indweller we are bowing down, but we may have to deal with the problem at hand.
Yeah. So all those salutations to the Antaryami indweller. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everyone in this world receives our reverence only because of the Lord who is present, which is what he is.
Okay.
And that's
Thank
why the Vo Namaha is there at the end. Vaha, the to you, who is
Right.
present as these many. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
We will go to the next mantra. Namo Ganebhyo Ganapatibhyascha O Namaha. Namo Ganebhyo Ganapatibhyascha O Namaha. Namo Ganebhyo Ganapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. I think it should be pretty simple for all of you. Just Namo Ganebhyo, that O is because, and Vo, all of them because of Sandhi, the Visarga becoming O. Ubhya, I've already covered quite a few times. So it should be pretty simple and straightforward. We'll look at the meaning. Namaha, salutation to Ganebhya. Ganebhya is the fourth vibhakti, or fourth form of the simple noun Ganaha, which is the plural of Ganaha. So all the Ganas we bow down. Ganebhya Namaha. We have looked at Ganas as, the Shiva Ganas, Bhuta Ganas, our own senses, all of them are. So we bow down to them also, because the Lord is within them. Or the Lord is the controller. Ganapatibhya is the fourth form of the simple noun Gana. Actually, it should be Ganapataya, it should be one. Give me a minute. Sorry. So Ganapati is singular and Ganapataya is the plural. Okay. So Ganapatibhya means to Ganapataya. So the leaders of Ganas. Ganapati means leader of Gana. Ganapataya means leaders of Ganas. Same concept. There are Ganas, then there's a Lord of the Ganas. And so, for example, if the senses are the Ganas, the mind is the Pati, the Lord of the senses. And each of us has a mind, that we can take. So to them also we bow down. Ganapatayaha Namaha. Ganapatibhyaha Namaha. It means to Ganapatayaha, our salutation. Cha Vaha, to you, who is present in everyone as functioning through their minds also, you can say. So salutation to Ganas, the leaders of Ganas, and to you. Namo Ganebhyo Ganapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. Because usually Ganesha means it's one Ganapati we know of. But here it's plural, Ganapatibhyaha. Okay. So we will go to the next mantra. I don't have an excerpt for this. Namo Virupebhyo Vishwarupebhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Virupebhyo Vishwarupebhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Virupebhyo Vishwarupebhyascha Vo Namaha. In terms of pronunciation, I don't think anything new here. I've covered bhyo before, so I will just leave it. Namaha is salutation. Virupebhya is the fourth form of the simple plural noun Virupaha. Virupaha. Virupaha means singular. Virupaha means plural. Okay. So there are many meanings given. I have given all of them. Virupa means one whose form is deformed, which is not so normal. Abnormal form, you can say, is Virupa. There's one meaning of Virupa. One without form also. Without Vina Rupa means without form also is Virupa. One who is of many forms, Vividha Rupa, is also Virupa. So you can see the Lord is with form, or the deformed form, the one who is without form, and one who has many forms. All these meanings come through with Virupa. Depending on our own visualization, we can take any one of those meanings.
Can you explain that? One without form means
See,
without.
God is without form, formless. There's no form bigger than that. So the one who is formless is also the Lord. One who is deformed. So it basically tells you in every form, anything you see is the Lord. And the one who is without form also. So there can be, okay, if you, for example, somebody dies, their astral forms, their ghosts, goblins, this kind of things also there, because they also exist, embodied, disembodied, exist things which exist in this world. Usually if we say ghosts, and we will draw something very weird, pictures of unsightly forms. Okay, people who are not without form, they can take any shape, any form. So they are also Virupa. People, so they don't have form, but they also exist. To them also we bow down. So that is also another meaning. So because it's plural, it's not God. All human
bodies.
Astral bodies, you can say. Okay. So, but they are in a form which we cannot understand. It's an abnormal form, and they are without form. So all of them are covered in the Virupa. Okay. Yes, somebody has.
Not the causal body, right?
Yes, somebody said Arupa and Virupa. See, Arupa, brother, means without form. Yeah, means they are slightly same in meaning, Arupa and Virupa. But in this case, it's Virupa. So, but Virupa has some. I hope the description of ghosts that means yes, they don't have form, but they have a form of a certain kind which is not perceived by us.
All right. Okay, I understand.
Okay, from that kind of meaning, they don't have a form which we are used to seeing, which we can perceive, but they have a form. That category falls under Virupa. Arupa means absolutely no form.
Right. Okay.
Formless, that kind.
One of many forms means, is it causal bodies?
Yes. Causal body also you can say any form. So it just covers a variety of things. It's one that's the way the rishis have used the word. So the commentators are giving hundreds of meanings about this. Okay, so that's Virupebhya. The next word is yes.
Sorry, brother. So is that the formless is symbolized by linga too, the round one? No.
See, in this case, we are talking about Sarvatmakaha, God functioning through various things. Linga is a symbol of the Lord, who is with form and without form. You can, yes, you are right in that sense.
Okay, thanks.
See, Rupa, that's Rupa is Shivalinga because it has form and it does not have form. So that also falls under that category. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. The next word is Vishwarupebhyaha. Vishwarupebhyaha is the fourth verb form fourth noun form or case suffix for vibhakti of Vishwarupaha, which is a simple noun, plural noun. Okay. Vishwarupaha means, see, Vishwarupam means we know God in a universal form. But here, because it's used in plural form, Vishwa also can mean all, many. Because even in the Lord's Vishwarupam, there are many different forms. The collection of all these also we bow down. Okay. Forms, without forms, we have looked at. Now, with the forms which are already existing, there are many forms. To them also we bow down. Because they all form the Vishwarupa, that is the Lord, Vaha. The way Arjuna saw, when Arjuna saw Krishna, he saw himself also in it. He saw the Kauravas in it. They all form the same Lord. So Vishwarupa, so that Vishwarupa concept is brought here. That all these manifold forms are also his forms. They are all part of that Lord. That concept comes through. Okay, Virupebhyascha, Virupebhyaha namaha, Virupebhyaha namaha, Vaha namaha, to you, who is present as all these things manifold ways in this world. And Virupa, people who are outside of that also. So every form which we see in this world, the Lord is there. Any form. So that is why in Sanatana Dharma they will worship a snake, they will worship a tree, they will worship a stone. Anything is worshipped. Even before driving a car also we pray to the car. So the thing is, all these are Vishwarupa. And yes, Sister Anita, I think you.
Sai Ram, brother. When you're saying everybody is included, is it the demons and demons are also included?
Virupa, they all come under Virupa.
Under Virupa, because they call them Kurup. Kurup means
Yes.
ugly.
Yes.
So that's a subdivision of Virupa.
Generally, whoever doesn't look like us, we think they are ugly.
So the demons are also, we have to see God in them.
Yes, the Lord is functioning through them also,
Okay.
So I think the belief of the rishis is once you identify the divinity within that person cannot harm you.
Oh, okay.
Because you have reached out to the master. Okay. So if you bow down to the demon, they may kill you. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you recognize the divinity within that person and reach out to that divinity in that person,
okay.
that person is harmless, cannot do anything. Because you have reached out to the boss. Just like any department, if we
like a bully.
Go to the boss.
Yeah.
Yes. When they know that the boss is known to you, they will leave you alone.
That's true. He'll take care of everything.
Yes.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yes. So we should understand, we should not bow down to the bully, but the divinity within the bully, we bow down.
Right.
I think that is important. Because no one in this world needs to be bowed down to unless we recognize the divinity within that person. So I think that's.
Thank you.
So as you can see, the entire Rudram is trying to help us cultivate this ability to see God everywhere, in everything, in every situation. So the rishis have given us all these mantras, and by just chanting these mantras without our knowledge, we will be transformed into that state. Is also a belief of chanting Veda. By chanting this, we will, without our knowledge, we will cultivate that attitude. So we will just. I have an excerpt, so we will just read through that excerpt. In order that we may have some vision of the inner Atma, Bhagavata has been teaching us upasanas in the form of 3 steps. These are Vishnu Upasana, Vasudeva Upasana, and Narayana Upasana. The first one, Vishnu Upasana, recognizes God in all people who have a form and a name. This aspect has been described to us as the Swarupa of Virat in Bhagavad Gita. It has been referred to as the Vishwarupa Darshana, or the manifestation of God in the form of creation. The meaning of this was also taught by Bhishma to Dharmaraja when the former was lying on the bed of arrows. The Bhagavata demonstrates that the entire creation is in fact an aspect of Vishnu. Bhagavata tells us that Vishnu is present in all forms of creation, at all times and in all places. We may say that this path is an easy path to follow for ordinary human beings. Since God is present in all living forms, it enables us to regard every human being as some form of God. So I thought, this sort of nicely summarizes all these concepts which come through in the Rudram in the past few mantras very well. And Swami calls this Vishnu Upasana. Okay, so those who want to read more, you can take the Summer Showers 1978.
Brother,
Discourse number 10. Yes, sister.
sorry for the disturbance. See, it enables us to regard every human being. It's all creation, am I right? It's just referred as.
Yes.
Thank you. It's not only human, everything. Thanks.
Yes, but once you do this, see, most of our problem is with human beings.
Yeah.
So other things easy to recognize.
How
Divinity.
many ganas are there? The Rakshasa ganas or demon qualities are in the human beings, right?
Yes.
So how many ganas altogether?
I think as many people and more than what we can ever imagine.
Devagana,
Yes, I don't know the count.
Manushya gana, Rakshasa gana,
Infinite.
infinite
Okay, so
ganas, infinite.
okay. Shall we move on then? I hope Swami has nicely explained the mantras. Namo Mahadbhyah Kshullakebhyascha Wo Namaha. Namo Mahadbhyah Kshullakebhyascha Wo Namaha. Namo Mahadbhyah Kshullakebhyascha Wo Namaha. Just to a few pronunciation. This is Udbhya, okay? Mahadbhya. In this letter, there's Ud, B, and yeah, there are 3 letters in this. Mahadbhya, and Bha is again, as I said, it has to be aspirated. The next word is Kshullakebhya. So it is so the sh is tongue raised up, cerebral sh, and ik is the first one. So it's a bit tougher in pronouncing. Kshul. You should start the letter with k. Kshullakebhya. Okay, so it may require some practice for those who are not very familiar. And abhyascha. The 4th letter, pavarga, b, has to be aspirated. We will look at the meanings. Namaha, salutation. Mahadbhyaha. So the Mahadbhyaha is the fourth form of noun of the simple plural noun Mahantihi. So Mahanti is, say, Mahat is the singular, Mahat, and The plural of that is Mahanti. Mahanti. Okay, that means those who are big or great. There are some commentators have given the meaning, who have all sorts of siddhis. They are also Mahanti. But I have not given that meaning here. I've just picked up only one of them, which is great or big. So, Mahadbhyaha Namaha. It means to Mahanti, our salutation. Mahanti means those who are big, powerful, that kind of meaning. Oh, vast. The next one is Chullakebhyaha. Chullakebhyaha is the fourth form of the noun, of plural noun of Chullaka. Chullakaha is the singular, Chullakaha is plural. So those are small. So as I said, mentioned in the introduction to the fourth Anumaka, all about contrast, opposites. That which is big, that which is small. So we bow down to all that is big, we bow down to all that is small. Okay, all those who are small, all those who are big, whichever way you want to take. We worship our prayers to them and to you who is in them. So, simple words, salutation to those who are big or great, those who are small, and to you. Okay, that's the meaning of this mantra. There's an excerpt, so let's look at, I think I have a couple of excerpts. Yes, 2 excerpts.
Brother, sorry to
Yes. I don't know whether I have.
Sairam, brother, sorry. I think there's a 2 chats on.
Yeah, I listened.
Okay, thank you, Sairam.
That's Brother Vimalesan only, so that's fine. I think he's already told what I am trying to say, so he'll see it. God is the creator of all living beings, right from a tiny ant to a mighty elephant. Nothing in this universe will move without his divine will. Even tiny ants that you see are born out of God's will. The same truth has been explained in Saint Tyagaraja's famous Kirtan, Chimalo Brahmalo, Shiva Keshavaduలలో ప్రేమ మీర వెలసి ఉండే బిరుంతు వహించిన రామ నన్ను బ్రోవరా. O Rama, in your pure and unsullied form of love, you indwell in all beings from an ant to Brahma, as also in Shiva and Keshava. Please be my protector too. Okay, no doubt we are aware of it, but once an ant bites us, we immediately kill it. On the other hand, when Lord Brahma appears before us, we offer our pranams to him with folded hands. Though the names and forms are different, the same Atma permeates all living beings. One who develops faith in this truth will not hasten to cause any harm to any living being. This one discourse excerpt, it's from 22nd November 2007. There's another excerpt from Swami. God is beyond and above all these 5 senses of perception. He has none of the 5 qualities or attributes of matter. Therefore, he is lighter than all these 5 elements and he is present everywhere. It does not matter whether you look at this description from a spiritual angle or from a scientific angle. The truth of the statement that has now been made will have to be accepted by everyone. That is why God is described as Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. This statement means that God is like an infinitesimal being amongst the infinitely small ones. God is like an infinite being among the infinitely large ones. Anuraniyan means he is the atom of the atom. Anoho, Anu. Okay. So Mahato Mahya means he is greater than the biggest. So whether we go to the smallest, he is the smallest particle. I think the science call it God particle now. And if we go to the biggest one, he is bigger than everything else. So that principle comes through this. Mahadbhya chullakebhyascha vonam. So anything big we see also the Lord is there. Anything small, that is also Lord. Because both are beyond our grasp. The smallest things which we cannot see, even atom is not visible to us. The vast universe is also beyond our perception. But to all this, we bow down. The biggest, the larger than the largest, and the smaller than the smallest. To that Lord, to Him, we bow down. We'll go to the next mantra. Namo Rathibhyo Arate Ratibhyo Rathebhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Rathibhyo Rathebhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Rathibhyo Rathebhyascha Vo Namaha. In terms of pronunciation, this Rathi is the second letter in the Tha Varga. So it has to be aspirated. Rathi. Rathibhyo. Ubhyo, again, Ub is the fourth letter in the Pa Vargas, has to be aspirated. So you see this S shape one, which is the Avagraha, which is a silent A. Okay, because of Sandhi. Rathe, again, the The is again aspirated because it's the second letter in the Tha Varga. And Ubh, Rathebhyaha, okay, Rathebhyascha, Arathebhyascha, Vonama. And we'll look at the meanings. Namaha is salutation. Ratibhyaha. So Ratibhyaha has become Ratibhyo. Okay. Ratibhyo or Ratibhyaha is the fourth form of noun, fourth vibhakti of Rathini. Rathini. Okay. Rathini is a Rathin, means one who is a chariot, one who has chariot. Oh, is a rider of a chariot is also chariot. Driver of a chariot, you can say, or one who has chariots. So the meaning here is those who have chariots. So we bow down to those who have chariots. The next word is aratebhya, because as I said, this because of sandhi has become silent. That's why we say ratebhyo ratebhyascha. Actually, ratebhyo aratebhyascha. Okay, that is silent here. Aratebhya means to arathaha, means those without chariots. In modern day world, if you think people who have car and people who don't have cars, for both of them we bow down. That way, that's a worldly perspective. So you get people who have possessions, who don't have possessions. To everyone we bow down. Also, Ratha is also the body. So those who have body also we bow down. Those who don't have a body also we bow down. That way also we can take. So there are many ways we can see this meaning. So again is opposites. The one who has, one who doesn't have. In both of them, the Lord is present. Because He is beyond what having and not having. To that Lord we bow down. Salutation to the charioteers, those without chariots, and to you. We will look at an excerpt which I have. It is a discourse from 24th May 1990. In Kathopanishad, the body is compared to a chariot, the senses to horses, the mind to the reins, and the buddhi to the charioteer. What is the role of the mind in this analogy? The reins, mind, are between horses and the charioteer. This means that the mind is between the senses and the buddhi. If the mind follows the dictates of the buddhi, it will be safe. If it gives free rein to the senses, it will be a bond slave of the senses. As a result, experiences sorrow. Allowing the senses free rein is the pravritti marga, the external path. Controlling the senses is the nivritti marga, the internal path. Most people are content to pursue the external. Few are concerned to explore the internal. In the Upanishad analogy, it must be noted that unless the buddhi, charioteer, holds the reins, the mind, the chariot cannot be managed properly. So you can also say this mantra is given for us to recognize our mind is also a chariot. Our body is also a chariot. And it has to be run well. Okay. But knowing that the Lord is the one who is controlling will help us navigate properly in this world. We can do what's called defensive driving, so the world, everyone is driving a car, and we have to make sure that we don't cause harm and we don't allow others to cause harm. That kind of a meaning also comes through in this Rathibhyo Rathebhyascha. We will look at the next, it's also related mantra. Namo Rathebhyo Rathapadibhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. Namo Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. In terms of meaning, I think it's similar to what I have mentioned. The Rathe, the Tha is second letter in the Tha Varga, so it has to be aspirated. Namaha, salutation. Rathebhya. Rathebhya is the fourth form, fourth vibhakti of Rathaha. Rathaha means chariot. Rathaha means chariots, plural. So we bow down to the chariots also. Okay. We were first bowing down to the ones who have the chariots. Now we bow down to the chariots also, because the chariots are also controlled by the Lord. Even our own body, it's not in our control. It does so many things throughout the day and we don't know why, how it does. So to that also we bow down, because the Lord is the one who is making it function. It also means we should treat the chariot as what belongs to God. The temple of God, as Swami would say, our body should be treated. To that chariot which God has given, we bow down. And to all the chariots around also, we bow down. Ratha Patibhyaha, the leaders of the lords of the, that is Ratha Pateha, is lords of the Ratha. So who are in control of this Ratha, to those people also we bow down. The lords of the chariots. And to Vaha, to you. Okay, Rathebhyo Rathapatibhyascha Vo Namaha. Salutation to the chariots, lords of the chariots, and to you, O Lord. Okay, that's I have an excerpt from Swami's discourse, 12th September 1974. It is only when we purify our heart that God will be able to enter it. Krishna said, Arjuna, you are taking me as the charioteer of your chariot. Take me as the charioteer of your life. The seat on which I am seated in the chariot is very clean and well decorated. Think how clean and how grand your heart should be to make it a seat for me if I become the charioteer of your heart. As long as Rajo and Tamo gunas are there, the heart is not pure. These two gunas will go on polluting and dirtying the heart. Therefore, to begin with, remove the Tamo and Rajo gunas. Make every effort to remove the dirt from your heart. Because only when it's clean, the Lord will enter, as Swami says. The next one is the discourse, the Sama course discourse from 1972, discourse number 42. The individual must install himself in a chariot with the wheels of Tyaga, detachment, and Satya, truth. The Lord will then accept the position of charioteer. He will hold the reins, mind, and direct the horses, the senses, straight and safe over the road, the path of salvation through self-realization. So these thoughts come through in this word, to treat everything as chariot. What is this chariot? How the Lord is the Lord of, Pati of this chariot. These thoughts can be contemplated on while chanting this mantra, because He's the one who is driving the chariots of our chariots and our lives also. So that is Rudra. So one more mantra I have picked up. This is the 10th mantra in this Anuvaka. Nama Senabhya Senanibhyascha O Namah. Nama Senabhya Senanibhyascha O Namah. Nama Senabhya Senanibhyascha O Namah. I think in terms of pronunciation, it should be simpler. There's nothing much to highlight, something new. Let's look at the meaning. Namaha, salutation. Senabhya is the fourth vibhakti, the fourth noun form of Senaha. Senaha is plural, which means armies. Senaha means Sena is singular. Senaha is plural. Okay, armies. So to all the armies, we bow down. We bow down to all the armies. Sena also, I think I've earlier on mentioned, Sena means a group of, any group which has a leader. Sa-ina means one who has a leader. So that's the army means very well disciplined. They have a leader. To such armies we bow down. Okay, Senabhya Namaha, which means to Senaha, our salutation. To the armies, our salutation. Next word is Senanibhya. Senanibhya means it's again fourth noun form or fourth vibhakti of Senanaya. Senani, Senanaya. Senani is singular, Senanaya is plural. Means army commanders. So to them also we bow down. Okay, because many organized forms of armies exist in this world, and the leaders for them, we bow down to them also. Why we bow down? There's a Lord within them who is operating through them to you. Okay, so salutation to the armies and army commanders and to you. So we look at an excerpt from Swami's discourse. Consider how well educated, how powerful, how strong physically, how heroic were the epic personages of Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Duryodhana. Each of them had all these in ample measure. But the absence of virtue, of the yearning to be righteous, of adherence to dharma, moral code, that flaw led to irreparable ruin. Prior to the confrontation on the field of battle, Duryodhana, as well as his rival, the Pandava prince Arjuna, hastened to the Lord Krishna seeking aid. Krishna allowed them to choose for themselves. He placed before them two items of aid: the army that would be an addition to one's militant potential, and himself, the divine guide and guardian, who would not be useful for the actual fighting in the battle. Duryodhana chose the army. He preferred quantity, manpower. Arjuna chose quality, God power. Krishna was for him as valuable as the acquisition as the conquest of the entire world. So, when we say we bow down to the army, the armies, army commanders, and to the Lord, These are three choices which are in front of us. What do we want in this world? We want to be part of an army, or we want to be after the leaders of armies, or the Lord himself. And so the army also symbolizes power, control. We all should bow down to the Lord. Know that the Lord and go for that Lord. Wherever the Lord is, that's where we have to be, whether he's fighting the battle or not. Just having the Lord, who is greater than the armies in this world, greater than the army lords, the commanders in this world. To that Lord we bow down. And that comes through in this mantra. Knowing very well he is supreme, not the army commanders. He alone is supreme. Recognizing that will become possible by chanting this mantra. Senabhya Sena Patibhyascha Vo Namah. So this is what I have prepared. We have covered about 10 mantras. I hope I was not rushing through, but I thought we will. Otherwise, it will go on for more than 1 year studying Rudram. So I thought I should cover as much as possible. I will stop here. If there are any questions, I will answer if I have the answer.
Sairam,
Yes.
Arunapai. The fourth Anuvakya, I noticed in the printed material I have, the end, instead of Namaha, it's Namo.
Yeah. So it is. Yes. The NT Anuvaka is like one whole mantra.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what happens is there are individual mantras, but all the mantras are strung together.
Right.
So when they're strung together, this Namaha,
Uh-huh.
because of Sandhi, it becomes Namo.
So when we
Depends.
chant, we say Namo?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
See, if you look at this word, let me show this mantra. For example, here is Namaha Ratebhyo.
Yeah, Nama Ratebhya Ratapatibhyascha
Yeah, so
Namo. In the
no, but
printed,
if
I
you,
have Namo at the end.
yeah, but if you look at the first one,
Right, that's
Namo
Namo.
Ratebhyo.
Right.
See, because I am giving you all each individual mantra separately,
Uh-huh.
I am not using Sandhi for the last word.
Oh, I see. Because then when you chant, it's continuous.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, thanks.
Good question. I think I may have mentioned it earlier on, maybe I
Okay.
didn't.
I probably
But
missed
so
it.
because I'm splitting each of the mantras, I will end it with Namaha.
Okay, thank you.
But when you sing continuously, because even when you sing continuously, there are different Nama happening. Sometimes Namo, sometimes Nama, sometimes
Right.
Namaha.
Yeah, sure.
So it depends on the Sandhi.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Saira.
Okay, if I think there are no questions, so I will stop here and we will meet next week. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.